Welcome to another edition of the KTTH Roundtable, where Bryan Suits and I talk about various issues we come unprepared for around a literal round table. I'll start because on Sunday is the LGBTQ+IA+S smiley face emoji Pride Parade. And cops are not allowed to march in uniform because apparently we're going back a long time. You see, Pride came out of a riot where police were involved. And there's long been a distrust in the community outside of course, YMCA, which includes a cop and was really actually a big thing.
And that was the New York police versus gay men's Stonewall riot.
Yep.
Never before so many guys in cutoffs have beaten so many police up.
Yeah, no kidding. So can we all acknowledge this has nothing to do with any sort of long-standing history? It's because post-BLM, radicals on the left have taken control of these organizations and they just don't like cops. To me, not only is there irony in a group of folks who are demanding tolerance being intolerant, but it's Mayor Bruce Harrell, who's a political coward, who will be marching on Sunday and so far has said nothing about this policy at a time in which cops are leaving in droves because they don't feel supported by the city.
And if I intend mayhem and I want to go there and disrupt the Pride Parade, who do you think is going to stop me? It's the uniformed Seattle police that they did bless to provide security at the Pride Parade. So
maybe they'll maybe it'll be treated like the chop zone where they're not actually allowed to go in.
Speaking of January 2020, which has nothing to do with CHOP, point is there was a big gang shootout at 3rd and Pine. Were you involved? I wasn't.
I was not there.
Well,
I have an alibi.
Some of the chaps who were involved were found not guilty in April of 2022 because, you see, it was a shootout, and what else are you supposed to do? So basically, it's a gunfight, bring a gun, you're not guilty.
They called, just real quick, they called it self-defense.
Hey, I was at a shootout at 3rd and Pine. What a shocker.
Yeah, Marquise Tolbert was the one who was found not guilty by a jury because he was defending himself against a rival gang member in the middle of the day.
Speaking of found, he was found in unauthorized possession of a firearm in 2022, which is why he's in federal prison today. Yeah. You'll find him in federal prison today because that crew, it's weird how bad people do bad things consistently.
I was shocked.
The criminal justice system didn't clean him up. He didn't turn around. He and his crew of guys from January 2020 are in federal lockdown today, whatever time. Because they were found federally, what's the word?
They're alleged of having illegal possession of firearms.
Yeah, they're in federal lockdown because, again, they shouldn't have it, but they were selling them to each other and the whole thing. So there's your bow on those guys. The feds find it a little less forgivable than King County Superior Court.
You're not getting out of this in the federal system.
And you're using
get
a
out
phone.
in King County. Yeah.
And you're using a phone.
They caught it via wiretapping, which just always remarkable to me. And, you know, as much as I do think people can change, there's some people who can't. And if you're Marquise Tolbert, who gets off when he clearly should not have, you would think that maybe he would use this as an opportunity. I'm going down the wrong path. Because what is he, 27? Yeah, 26, 27. Like, you have the opportunity to change, and you allegedly did not, and that means you're never going to.
And
it's too far gone.
On the wiretap line, they were talking about a gang shooting in Renton 2 weeks ago.
Federal way.
And so that federal way. And so the I think what we're about to find is with those guys in lockdown, you'll find that the vast majority of serious crime is committed by a small percentage of people. And it's weird how one arrest like this reaches out to all the guys they sold guns to and the whole thing. So we've solved all the world's problems. Look at that.
There you go. That's what we do on this show. We solve problems, not world peace, not really violence or drug use, and certainly not bigotry in any way, shape, or form. But once we figure out what we actually solved, we'll tell you about it on the next edition of the KTTH Roundtable.
This is gross when people do that.
Yeah, it's disgusting.